We need to trust ourselves and our bodies, but also to trust our art. I mean, sometimes we want to control so much that we end up like losing what our art actually is. In this video, we are going to talk about how to be more confident in your art and your creativity in general. So I'm here in Chapada dos Veadeiros with my friend Tila.
Hello.
And to start, I wanted to ask you how you built this confidence in your creativity.
It was a long journey. I was very antisocial in the beginning. And this confidence has to be built not only with yourself, but also in the environment you are. Some of your communication skills has to get in the process of building confidence. And when I say communication skills, I'm not only talking about the way you communicate with others, I'm talking about the way you communicate with yourself, about your voice in the world, your dialogue, your narrative. Because when we think about communication, we think about to communicate with the word, right? So I think the first process is with your voice, because we have this struggle of like, I'm not enough, or I will make some mistakes. I have some fears that I'm not like ready to start to have a dialogue with yourself and say like, I'm gonna try it anyway. Even though I'm not confident right now, I'm gonna try it. So you're gonna make mistakes. You will have a lot to encounter in this process, but it starts with your voice. And this way you talk with yourself will reflect in the communication skills that you're gonna develop to express your art and your creative process to the world later. But I think it starts inside first, right? So how it is for you? How did you find your voice in this process?
It takes time. This is one of the first things I want to say is that
Cacao!
What? It takes time because most of us struggle with like self-confidence in our lives. It really depends on how we were raised and the patterns you have in your own mind, and even when your body doesn't really resonate with the things you are experiencing. We need to be aware that the struggles to express ourselves will always exist. I mean, some people look at me sometimes, oh, he creates a lot all the time for so many years. But when I'm starting something new, it can be a new project, a new skill, I always feel the same way. But the difference now is that I don't stop because I'm afraid, you know? So I think it's one very important advice, like to not stop, even if you don't feel ready. For example, if I'm trying to make a new video or a new painting and I didn't do that for a while, I always try to start without thinking too much. I just do it in the flow, and if I don't like it, it's also okay. Because one thing that actually makes me frustrated sometimes when I can't start something new, a new project, a new artwork, is when I put all this pressure with the result, as we were talking yesterday. So I think if you can leave this pressure in the side and then you start doing something, I mean, later you can think about the result you want to get, but first start with no pressure. I think it's so important to start something without pressure, yeah, like this.
Yes.
How do you feel about it, Tila?
I have something to add with that before. I think sometimes we are very result driven because our society is like that. So sometimes it's very hard to not be attached to the result itself. So what I do right now that helps me a lot is to change the result that I want. If I want like to be seen in a way, I will change to the desire I have. What's the desire I have with that creation itself? The desire I have is to learn. So I want to learn to communicate if I'm doing a video. I want to learn to create a painting. I want to learn this new skill itself. So the desire is to learn, and then I will do the creative process and I will register it like as a video. And then I'm not so attached to the result because I'm already doing the result. The result is to learn, right? I'm already doing it. And I can say to you that when you detach about like these big results and you're already fulfilling your desire, the results are like a consequence. And it's also like I think most of our works that has like these big results are the ones that we are like flowing in a way that my desire is just to do it. You know, I know it's hard sometimes. It's not easy, but this is helping a lot. So
I want to add something too. In my creative process, before, I was so afraid of making a mistake, but actually through the mistake is where my art really grew, you know? I mean, if I'm trying to make a new art doll and try a new technique, if it doesn't work, it will somehow guide me to try something else that I wouldn't do if I didn't make a mistake first.
Yes.
So when I realized this, it's not a simple process too, it takes time, but like when my brain and my body realized this, I felt so much more confident in like creating, even doing mistakes, because I know the mistakes will guide me to, like somewhere new that I wouldn't do if I didn't make the mistake. So
yeah.
I think it's really nice to have this mindset when you are creating art and developing your skills, to not be afraid of it. Like you can find other ways to explore your creativity.
Yeah, and that's the point where there are many streams of channeling your creative process, the resources that are coming to you. Even though sometimes we say, I wanted that resource, I wanted that result, I needed that, but I don't have it right now. So what you have right now, you gotta ask yourself, what you have right now? So, and what we can do with what we have right now. If you act on it, even though you don't have everything, if you act on it, the channeling, the channels to come, the resources to come is gonna come in a way. Even if it's not exactly the way we imagine, but it's gonna come in a way. So you gotta be open to realize that it was not the way I projected it should be, but it's happening in some different ways, in some different dimensions. And sometimes it's even better. You didn't even imagine, like sometimes portals open and invitations come to you, you know? If you have to be attached to the projection you are making, to have exactly the things like that, you're not gonna realize the things you are learning and the things that's coming to you, like from inside and from the outside also. Right? So
that's perfect.
I think one way that you can feel also confident in your creative process is to be very open to those insights that could come in a way that you wouldn't imagine if you are too attached. So it's not about like you have to be totally detached of everything. It's not about that, but it's to be open.
For me, like having a structure is really important. So if you also need structure, it's good. But the thing is, the structure will create the first base of your idea in the world. So for example, with my last project, which was the cocoon, I made this storyboard for this music video that I would film later. And then I made a structure of what I wanted to do, but when I was there actually filming, the things were like different. So I needed to adapt myself and see, oh, before I was thinking about this angle in this video, but now I see that there's this plant or this tree that will make this scene way more powerful. So
Yes.
I will use this in my favor. So I didn't start like, oh, I just do that. You can do this too, like only flow, very intuitive. Sometimes I like to do this as well, but sometimes I need this structure to help me to see the first steps of what I'm creating. It can be a video, a sculpture, a painting. We need to trust. I think that's something
trust
real.
yourself.
Like you need to trust yourself, you need to trust in life and how your creative self and your and also the creative spirits, because I also feel that we are not like only creating like with our body or mind. I mean, there are so many other influences in the astral world and in nature. I mean, there are so many other influences that can help us to do our best if we learn how to make structure, but also how to flow and be very intuitive. How do you feel about it?
First of all, everyone is unique, right? Everyone is unique. Everyone is gonna find a way that's different. Sometimes what works for him is not working for me totally. And sometimes it will work. His solutions and his way will work for me. So in body awareness is to feel, it's really to feel, is this working for me? Is asking yourself, is the thing about the narrative I talked in the beginning, is asking yourself and feel your body. Feel your body in the present moment in a way that you really say, I'm safe, I'm trusting myself, I'm trusting the responses of my body. And you're gonna ask yourself if this works for you or not. And sometimes it's gonna be a little bit confusing, but your body is gonna move in a way, like, and you're gonna like open your sensitivity and open your sensorial abilities, because sensorial abilities is also part of the creative processes. Your sensorial abilities to feel like my body is moving towards this and my hands moving towards this, and like, you know, it's like a dance. And then you feel the confidence because your vitality is being nurtured. When you are like feeling that you are being depleted, that you are being like sucked, that your vitality is not there, sometimes you have to change. And maybe if you are not having structure and you are like all lost, maybe this change is to find the structure, you know? And maybe if you are so much in the structure and you are not like open to the creative process and your sensorial movements, maybe you're gonna be more flexible and more adaptable and more like, okay, I'm opening myself to the flow. And it will depend on your need in the moment. I think it's eternal, like it's a constant learning process. Yeah, I think that's it. And most important, tell yourself, like communicate with yourself, I trust my body enough. You know, I trust my body enough to see that my body's gonna move and my hand's gonna move towards this creation, and it's gonna be what it is, you know?
We need to trust ourselves and our bodies, but also to trust our art. I mean, sometimes we want to control so much that we end up like losing what our art actually is. Because I also feel that our creative process, as I said before, is not only us that are actually creating. We are co-creating with these forces, with the universe, with nature. We need to be open enough to let your art show you how it wants to be created too. So when we trust not only ourselves but also our art, we open this relationship in a more interdependent way.
I think my last tip about it, it's the position, because I was talking with him, like I took a long time to learn how to position myself. And this comes together with the communication. You're first gonna start to communicate with yourself, but also like when you learn the skills of communication, you're gonna learn to communicate with the world and to position yourself. And this is very tricky because people are like different, and sometimes you're gonna face some challenges, and people sometimes are not gonna like when you position yourself, you know? So sometimes you gotta be okay with, they don't want me here, they don't want my art. and you're gonna trust yourself anyways, you know. And sometimes you can think that if I position myself, maybe I'm gonna lose the connection I'm having here with them, and maybe they are gonna think that I need money or something like that. These are the things that I thought before, you know. And sometimes not. Sometimes they be excited for you and they say, really, do you do that? Can you? I need that. How much is it? So let's do this project together. Let's raise more direction, more creative process. Let's do it together. So, and also like for your success itself and for your like well-being itself, you gotta learn this how to position yourself. This is gonna be unique for everyone, but sometimes you gotta be objective in this process, and sometimes it's what I see. Sometimes I don't understand what you do, not be like just so flowing. And that's what he said. He needs a structure, and this structure, it's exactly what's gonna build like your clarity. Mm-hmm. The clarity in your mind, like this is my position, this is what I do, this is what I can offer in this.
This is my value.
This is my value. This is how much I will need to fulfill this role, to fulfill this project, to fulfill whatever. And I think this is also very important. And it comes with the first thing of the video that we started, like the communication. So try to create this dialogue with yourself first, build those structures, and then train yourself and talk with yourself in the mirror, because it's part of the awareness of your body. Talk with yourself in the mirror. Train your voice, like to be natural, like to, you know, I'm like that. I love myself. I love what I do. And that's what I can offer to the world. And excitement, it's something that's very attractive and is seductive. It's something that is charming, something that people like, you know. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of positioning yourself and being excited while you are professional also. That's what I have for you.
Yeah, I think that's great, my friend. This confidence is not only in your art, in your creative process, but as you said, is in the way you position yourself in the world as an artist, as a creator. Like it's all together. Maybe we can see like there are some boxes of it, but also it's all part of you and your unique expression in this world. Maybe through what you create, maybe through what you communicate and what you need, and the way you put yourself out there, you know. Like for example, we are now here in this place, and if we didn't build up this relationship with ourselves and the people around us, we wouldn't be here now. So yeah, just do it, you know. Like I want you to know that you can build this confidence over time. It's a daily work, but eventually it will be more natural. Your muscles will understand how you need to put yourself, how you need to communicate, and the value of you and what you create in the world. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I think to finish, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of where we are now. But before, if you want to present yourself, Tila, a little bit, maybe just like, because she's an amazing artist, creator, and she is also soon starting her own YouTube channel. And just present yourself. Who are you, where you came from, and what motivates you in this life?
Yeah, we are in Brazil right now. If you don't know, I think you know. But we come from the same place, Recife. It's northeast of Brazil. And we are in the center right now. So I started traveling. I am a nomad. I work with like all kinds of creative things. Right now, I do creative direction for filmmaking and business itself, like creative business. I am a filmmaker also. I produce videos, video arts also. Together with that, I like to paint. I like to perform. I like to dance. My main way of living is like the researching of the body, you know, researching of the what the body are capable of doing. So this is my main like passion in life. So I try every little thing that I can do of expression and creative, and to use my body in all expansion and full potential itself. So that's what I do. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's awesome, friend. Have
Yeah.
you? And now we are going to show you guys. So this is the place we are now. It's a place for meditation and like creative works. It's really beautiful, from a friend who lives here. And here is Chapada dos Veadeiros. So beautiful, so inspiring. And I'm so glad to be here with you guys again. I hope this video inspired you and will bring you some insights. So please let in the comments what you felt about it, and also what's your biggest struggles when you are like building this confidence in your art, in your creativity, and also what you actually desire to grow, like what takes your imagination to flow and to grow. I would love to know that, and see you next time. Bye.